Hello, folks. Welcome back to the program. Now it's time for our talk show of the day, in which we're going to talk about the general election and our women representation in the realm of politics. In a matter of weeks, Indonesia will hold its general election, and the democratic event will involve at least 200 million voters, comprising of 49.1% males and 50.09% females, scattered across the country and even abroad.
Unfortunately, the representation of women in parliament at 30% remains a challenge despite a trend of increasing numbers of female candidates from the general elections in 2009 to the one in 2019. The percentage of women elected as legislative members is only 20.5%, far below the 30% target.
And to discuss and delve more into this matter, joining us today are the advisory board member of the Association for Election and Democracy, Ibu Titi Anggraini, to talk more about the 2024 elections and the lack of women participation. Good morning, Ibu Titi. We know that you're not
Good
feeling...
morning, Mbak Carol.
Good morning, Ibu Titi.
Good morning.
We know that you're not feeling too well, so hopefully, but thank you so much for still joining us today in this Friday morning to kind of discuss in this, because this is very dear, close to hearts for Alan, myself, and also to you, Ibu Titi. In regards to what we said before, the data, it was 20.5% right now that represent women of Indonesia in politics and also in the legislative itself. We're still below the 30% policy mark. What driven into this factor, Ibu Titi?
Yeah, actually the data 20.5% of parliament member is for the national parliament. But if we take a look to the local parliament, so the number is even lower or below than 20%. So it's not easy to achieve 20% at the national level, but the number at the local level even lower compared to the national level. Why it's so hard to achieve the target? Yeah, to have more than 30%, minimum 30% of parliament members in every level, national and local level. Because first, we still have discrimination and regulatory inconsistencies regarding the representation of women in politics. For example, election commission policies through election commission regulation number 10 year 2023 give concern to the decline of women's candidacy in elections. For example, in 2019, we have more than 40% of female candidates in our candidate list. But in 2024, the number decreased to only 37% of female candidate in our candidate list. And then we still have social and cultural factors in our society that still discriminate against women. There are still stigma, stereotype, marginalizations, double burdens, and also violence against women that still exists. There is still opinion that leadership is more appropriate for male candidates than women candidates, and also high political costs because of Indonesian complicated, complex and expensive electoral system becomes challenge to the female candidates to running in election. And also Mbak Carol and Mbak Alin, transactional politics in our elections, for example, like candidacy buying, vote buying and selling votes, and the continued practice of bribery in vote counting make political women increasingly marginalized. So the political system and electoral system do not yet provide a clean and healthy competition ecosystem for women to compete in election. And also political affirmation of women representation are still considered a burden by political parties. So that sustainable regeneration, education, and strengthening of political capacity within internal political party does not happen consistently. The party paradigm is still far from inclusive politics and democracy. That there is no one is left behind as our paradigm. It is still not part of the internalization paradigm in political party. And last one, I think women are considered less competitive than male candidates in elite opinions. It cannot be separated from the ethical political characters of women who are more willing to reject violation and illegal practices in our election. So that's all to wrap up the conversation about the challenge that faced by women in politics, Mbak.
Mbak Titi, then what should we do to increase women representation in local politics as well as in the national stage?
Well, Mbak Alin, Indonesia only has affirmative action in the list of candidates. Yeah, there is no affirmative action for candidate electability in elections. Who will be elected and win the seats in parliament depends on the majority of votes from voters. This means it depends on the free will of voters. So let's make a big campaign, a huge campaign to vote for women. Because female candidates, women candidates needs our votes to vote for them to win the seats. So despite the stronger regulation on affirmative action that not only on the candidate list but on also in the electability of the candidates for the upcoming 2024 election, I think the most urgent activism we can do is vote for women.
And in regards to this, if we can reach to the mark of the 30% policy, could you illustrate how many seats women should ideally secure both in the national parliament and also in the regional? Ideally.
Well, ideally minimum 30%. Yeah. Why? Because minimum 30% is based on research from the United Nations that minimum number of 30% will make women more likely to influence decision making in parliament, which consists of various political groups. But at least a gradual approach. Yeah. Me myself, I'm expecting that in national parliament at least we can achieve minimum 25% from the for the upcoming 2024 elections. And for the local level at the provincial and city level, I'm expecting that at least we can achieve minimum 20% at our local parliament. So that's by having gradually approach. We are expecting that for the upcoming 2029 elections, we can achieve 30% at the national level and then 25% at the local level of our parliament.
So do you think that all stakeholders in our political system should prioritize women candidacy and election? I mean, because the percentage itself, it's not enough, because the political ecosystem as well as socio-culture in Indonesia does not support women's going into politics. I myself as a woman sometimes think, oh my God, you could have like an easy life. Why would you go into politics? So should we like give like special treatment for closing the gap between male and female politicians?
Yeah, strongly agree with your statement. Yeah, there are several proposals that submitted by civil society. For example, first giving state budget to support women candidacy. Recently, we have only small amount of state budget that sent to political party to support the regeneration and political education in political party. But we don't have special budget allocation from the state budget to support women candidacy. You know what? The biggest challenge that faced by women to compete in election is our high cost politics. So by having a subsidy or public funding that allocated by the state budget to support women candidacy, we are expecting that female candidates, women candidates can compete more equal with male candidates. And second one is we can learn from Rwanda and also from New Zealand. In New Zealand, they have like special electorates that only involving tribes or indigenous people from Maori. we can adopt that strategy in Indonesia by having like special electorates that only follow by female contestant or female candidates. We can allocate several percentage of parliament members that only will be compete among the female candidates. So by having that stronger affirmative action, we are expecting will be followed by more female candidate can be elected from the election. We need more affirmative action policies to make more women elected in our parliament. By having this, a popular vote system in our election, it's not easy to win the seats for female candidates, Mbak Alin.
Now, in regards to this, I'm just going to add more into what question or asked by Aline. Is it crucial to assign a special ballot numbers for female legislative candidates then, Bu Titi?
Based on the data, 64% of elected members in DPR in our national parliament are candidate in number one. So in our election system, although we are implementing the open list system with popular vote, but numbers still significant and important to be elected. 60% of candidate elected in their number one position. So we are proposing to our lawmakers to put 30% to put female candidate in number one in minimum 30% of electorates. That was our proposal in last election, but you know that that proposal not adopted by the lawmaker. So the numbers of the female candidates in the list is depend on the political will of the elite and political party. There's small numbers of female that put in number one in the list, ya Mbak. By having stronger policies like put more women in number one list, we hope that they can have bigger opportunity to be elected in elections.
So let's talk about the essence of this discussion. Why should we have more female representation in our politics? What changes can be made if we have like more politicians in the country?
Well, Mbak, we are a democracy nation, yeah. We choose democracy, and in democracy, there's no one left behind. Half of our population are women, half of our voters are women. So the voice of women must be heard, not only by descriptive representation, by having more women in parliament, but also to make their voice heard, to be heard in the parliament's room, so we can have more policies, more regulation, more budget that with more fair and more inclusive to the female and children interest. So by having more female representation, we are expecting descriptive representation and also substantive representation, whereas a woman voice will be reflected in regulation, in policies, and also in budget that developed by the parliament.
And how can we beneficial for having a woman representation, Ibu Titi, in regards to this? Because you before talk about the stigma, and then to swing the votes, especially for male, to kind of vote a female representation. Yeah. This needs to take a lot from them. They will deep dive and trying to see this woman representation or this women member or is going to be the candidate of the legislative. They're going to see the background, what have done, what this agenda and whatnot. What can we do as a woman if we're running, for a seat? What can we do to justify that you should choose me because I should be there? I can work for the nation, I can work for the people, and I'll be the voice for the people.
Yeah, well, actually, it's a very hard question, ya Mbak, ya. Within our political party system that's still expensive, complicated, and also with so many transactional politics. So what we can do is by having more confidence, yeah, to have a strategic campaign approach that promoting agendas, ideas to the public. So by having that confidence, we are expecting that more respect from the voters to the female candidates, and also media support is also important. You know that with the Indonesian landscape that's so big, yeah, with the big numbers of voters, it's not easy for female candidates to reach all the voters in one time. With only small time to campaign for 75 days, we are approaching the voting day within 18 days. Yeah, media support and also media opinion will help voters to understand more on female candidacy and female leadership in our parliament. And also by having us with the sisterhood solidarity.
That's right.
To promote the election of women in our parliament, we are expecting there will be like more support to the women candidacy.
Thank you very much, Bu Titi Anggraini, the advisory board member of the Association for Election and Democracy, for sharing your insights this morning.
Yes, Ibu Titi, definitely. We know you are such a powerful voice right here, voicing out to all women in Indonesia. We're hearing you, and hopefully that we're also going to support all the women representation in the candidacy during the general election 2024. Thank you very much, Ibu Titi. All right, everyone, that was such a very insightful, especially as women. There's still more work to be done, but you know, the people are there, the women is right there to represent not only for themselves, not only for their community, for our nation as well. Now we're taking a quick break right now. In the meantime, please do stay connected with us at See Today News. We're on Instagram, X, and also YouTube. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more.